Hello viewers, welcome back to another video. A Far Cry from Africa by Derek Walcott. About the poem, Far Cry from Africa is addressed Walcott's internal conflict over the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya and the violence between British colonial process and Africans. Walcott's being of mixed African and European heritage feels emotionally divided between two worlds. The chat now come to the summary of the poem. The poem describes the brutal violence in Kenya during the Mau Mau rebellion 1952 and 1960. Walcott shows how both sides, colonizers and rebels, commit atrocities. The speaker feels torn. His African ancestry connects him to the suffering of the colonized, but his English heritage ties him to the culture of the colonizers. The split identity causes deep guilt and confusion. The poem ends without resolution, expressing the poet's inability to choose between African and English tongue I love. Thus, the poem becomes a cry of pain from someone is caught between two stories. Analyzes. Walcott uses strong visual imagery, blood, bodies, savannah winds to show the brutality of colonial conflict. The tone shifts between anger, sorrow, and helplessness. The poem questions: can violence ever escape justice? Can someone of mixed heritage be loyal to one side alone? How does history divide individuals? The poem's power lies in its moral complexity. Walcott refuses to glorify either side, focusing instead of the tragic human cost and his personal identity crisis. The phrase a far cry conveys both distance, physical and emotional, and a cry of agony. The speaker in Park from Africa is emotionally tied. He is from choosing a single identity. So now come to the major themes. Okay, about this poem. So the major themes is split identity and hybridity. Walcott's mixed ancestry causes inner conflict. He belongs to both African and European, and neither completely. The poem explores the pain of being divided between two cultures, stories, violence and colonialism. The poem criticizes the brutality of colonial rule and the violent and the rebellion that followed. Walcott shows that both the colonizer and the colonized commit horrors, complicating the idea of moral superiority, guilt, conflict, and moral ambiguity. The speaker cannot choose a side without betraying part of himself. The poem ends unresolved, showing the responsibility of forming a clear moral stance in such a divided world. Thank you so much for seeing this video.